Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Tech Sheck. We're real and we're continuing along this way. First thing I'd like everybody to do, please sign into YouTube, subscribe to our channel. That helps us perpetuate this effort. You know what we're trying to do here? We're trying to make Pakistan and the tech ecosystem there real for you. We want people outside of Pakistan to understand what we're trying to do in Pakistan to make things better. Great stuff, very positive. Please support us. We're on all the instant and social media channels out there. Please like, follow, and share. Additionally, I don't get a lot of feedback. 30 episodes? Come on, guys. Tell me what's happening, what's good, what's not good. What do you want to see more of? Very important for us to continue this mission. In any case, continuing along in the vein of always trying to do something different, we've got some pretty interesting guests today. I have a guest co-host, Ambereen Mirza, who happens to be a board member of Open Boston, the original Open chapter, and is the general secretary for the global Open entity. In addition to that, we have with us Uzair Qarni, what I call a real Pakistani, grew up here in California, where I'm at, went to Northwestern, decided I'm going back to Pakistan, and I'm going to make a difference in the education sector. And with that, I'm going to turn it over to Ambereen, and she's going to get into the conversation with Uzair today. Welcome both.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Faruk. Thanks, Faruk. It's a pleasure to be on Tech Sheck. And thank you, Uzair, for coming on the show and talking to us about Native.
Sure.
So Uzair Qarni is here with us. And Uzair, why don't you introduce yourself and also tell us about Native and tell us a little bit about the problem that Native is solving today.
Sure, yeah. So hi, thanks everybody for having me on the show. So my name is Uzair. I grew up in the US, got a bachelor's in industrial engineering from Northwestern University. And while I was in university, I started teaching classes online. And that's kind of what I did out of college for many, many years. I taught classes online to over 30 countries, over 100 subjects. And in 2016, I came to Pakistan really just kind of on a whim. And that's where I met some of the leadership of Akhuat. And so from 2016 to 2019, I was the academic director for Akhuat. And so they had kind of under my mandate was a bunch of government schools. We started with one and eventually it expanded. And so in 2.5 years there, I was able to increase the high school pass rates from 19% to 76%. And really that experience is what kind of exposed me to all of the education problems and opportunities in Pakistan. So in 2019, I kind of stepped back from Akhuat and I started Native Learning. And it was really because I saw all over Pakistan that there's so many people coming online. I mean, just in Pakistan, there's 1 million new monthly active users on the internet every single month. You know, and less than 1% of those people are fluent in English. Less than 10% of those people, they only speak Urdu at home. And there's a tremendous linguistic diversity. Every province has its own regional language, and there's sub-regional languages. And learning a top 10 language or a top 5 language, learning English, even learning Urdu, it can take years. But because of how young this market is, people are looking to learn new skills today. Whether it's accounting or computer programming or marketing or whatever it is, concrete skills that you learn efficiently so that you have a higher income earning potential. And so that's kind of the problem that we're solving, because I mean, not only does it really help Pakistanis, but if you kind of zoom out in the whole developing world, from Western Africa all the way to Southeast Asia, there's 2 billion people who are not fluent in a top 5 language. And they're all coming online and they're looking to gain new skills. But that takes a long time if you first have to learn another language first. And so we think it's a really huge opportunity. We think it's a really big market. And so that's kind of what we're doing on the B2C side and the problem that we're solving. But also in Pakistan now, after COVID, there's so many businesses, governments, organizations that want to digitize their learning. And there's almost no one-stop shop solutions in Pakistan. You either have to outsource it to work with an international company, you have to work with a bunch of freelancers. And so we're offering that service now as well. And we're seeing a lot of growth On that end, we work with LUMS, we've worked with the government of Punjab, we're working with Al-Karam and other organizations. So that's been really fun too.
That's fantastic. So it's great that you are finding opportunity in the midst of all this adversity between this coronavirus epidemic and now even I'm sure with the natural disasters that we're seeing, especially even in light of the floods, more school children are going to be affected in Karachi. So you'll even see increased demand for learning from home. What is your ask? Do you have an ask in order to grow Native? Are you trying to raise funds? Is there a way that people in the diaspora can help you? Please tell us what we can do.
Sure. So I think we're really looking to do a few things right now. We're cash flow positive, and so we're paying the bills. And so I think we're looking for maybe 3 different things. The first is for any connections we can get in the business NGO community in Pakistan and even abroad. Where for Western markets, we're an extremely cost-effective one-stop shop solution for online course development. Whatever you want to do, from the curriculum design all the way to animation and scripting, filming it, editing it, LMS deployment, custom assessment design, everything. But also for the domestic market in Pakistan, there's really no options, and we're providing that. So any connections we could get there would be super awesome. The second is we're always looking for people any Pakistanis who want to help us co-fund a course on a specific topic. And then the upside on that we can share. But we're always looking for people who either are experts or want to fund, especially in the diaspora community, a course. For example, if you're an expert in Python programming, come work with us either as an expert or somebody who wants to fund the course. If you've worked if you're a nurse and you want to help us create a course in basic healthcare, you either work with us as an expert or help us fund it. These are things we can do, and we can translate these extremely efficiently into all the languages of Pakistan. And so that's the second thing we're looking for. And then the third thing is just helping us spread the word. We have a few courses on our website. Any of those sales, everything we're pouring back into making more content, learning how to better serve this market and create things that can really help people, see some more opportunity, achieve their dreams. I mean, I just want to give you an example of what I mean. So we made this online chess course. We made it in English, Urdu, and Sindhi. And there's this kid, Raghav, who goes to this government school in Leari. And they had just moved from Thar. And he took our 3-week chess course in Sindhi. And then 2 weeks later, he went to a chess tournament at a private school, and he got 2nd place. And so part of online learning and making it in native languages is that we can reach these amazing people and give them that one little bit of inspiration that they need, whether it's kids or adults, for whatever it may be, to really incite some change. And so that's kind of what we're doing across the board and what we're looking to do in the future.
Can you talk to us about projected revenues over the coming years, like over the next 3 years? Do you have any projections?
Yeah, so our company is totally bootstrapped, and I'm really proud of that. I'm really not in a rush to kind of fund beyond our means. So last year was the year for me. It was purely research and development. I didn't really focus on sales because it was nothing. I had to learn everything. All I knew was academics and coding. So last year our revenue was about $20,000. This year it's looking to quadruple to be about $80,000. Mm-hmm. And I think even if we go totally bootstrapped, I think we can keep at least 300% year-over-year growth because this market is so huge, at least minimum. And with some funding, I think, for example, I think if we could get over the next 2.5 years, first raise a Series A of $75,000 and then a pre-seed fund, and then a Series A of $250,000 over the next few years, then I think we're on track to have a 5-year net present value of profit. After that funding, we could easily do $5 million a year. The market is so huge. This is a $500 million e-learning market in Pakistan. If you look across all segments, not including primary education, it's a $500 million market. And that's assuming very low penetration rates among the government, for-profit, consumer segments. It's a huge market. And so I think these types of valuations are are gonna happen over the next few years, especially if some organizations like ours can get some funding.
Of course. Wow, that's actually, yeah, it's a very ambitious plan. And given Pakistan's population, their growth rates, the amount of children that are school-age children, and even adults who want to take classes, because you're talking about not just your K through 12, but you're talking about classes for all ages, that there's a huge market potential there.
Guys, this is really fantastic. Go ahead, Uzair.
No, I'll back to you for sure.
Yeah, no, all I was going to say is we're coming up towards the end of our time. First of all, Uzair, I wanted to thank you very much for joining us today. I'm really, really intrigued by your effort and, the story that you shared about the young boy who, when we were able to relate in his language where he could go. And this is really what we're also trying to drive with Tech Sheck, is that there's a ton of latent talent locked up in our country, and we just got to find ways to unpack it, right? So kudos to you. The journey you've taken is not something that many of us are brave enough to do. So again, kudos on that. It's a tough market to work in and understand, especially if you've grown up outside. So God bless you, and may you continue to do good work like you're doing. To our audience, look, here it is, guys. This is, people like Uzair, journeys that he's on. This is what we're trying to reflect. Let's emphasize what's good in Pakistan, what's happening right, how we're helping people unpack that potential and make ourselves much more self-sufficient. Because the biggest challenge I've always seen in the last 25, 30 years that I've visibly been involved with Pakistan is we're really busy asking people to help. We've got the capabilities to help ourselves. We've just got to start helping people realize that potential in country. And with that, I want to thank you, Uzair. Thank you, Ambereen, for joining us as a co-host. I also want to emphasize something here, guys. We really want to keep this effort going. 30 episodes, if you think about that, we've accomplished a lot in the last 6 months, but we can't do it without your support. This is not a profit-generating institution. We are doing this as a public service, and we want to make it social impact. So please, like us, follow us, share us. Let people know we're out there. We need your support. And lastly, give us more feedback on what's working and what's not working. We want to continue to see good topics. We want to continue to engage with you as the audience. And with that, thank you very much for joining us. Allah Hafiz.